have Hajra next. Let me just read her introduction. Ji. Please, Hajra, have a seat. Ji. Hajra's introduction. I think like it is. Hajra, could you introduce yourself? I don't have, I think, missed out the friend. Could you introduce yourself, what you do? Yeah.
Yes, so my name is Hajra Imran, and I'm a student at Government Graduate College, settled down in Gujranwala. So I have traveled with my parents here, so they are here with me.
Please give a round of applause for yourself.
And my respected teacher, Miss Hinari, is here with me also.
Thank you. Yes, your work.
I will start from my childhood, and I've been very interested in stories. We had Oxford books, and 1A, 1B, one for grammar and one for short stories. So I love to read stories. I could relate to them, and sometimes they will open new avenues to my thinking and imagination. As a child, I didn't watch TV. I'm told that I was like, what should I watch? I was not a conventional child, just stick to the screen watching cartoons.
Excellent.
But gradually
I want you to repeat the learnings.
Yes, I'm not a conventionally sane person as defined by the society. I have my own way of thinking, and I appreciate that about myself, that I have my own self and identity, and I don't conform to the traditional and you can say conforming attitudes. So, but gradually, when I started to watch television, I always try to find some meaning in cartoons too. There are many good animated movies. For example, Brave is one of my favorites, in which there is the Princess Merida who just defies her mother and her clan and says that she won't marry and she will live her life first and then she will decide for herself. So this kind of philosophical thinking, and then Harry Potter. I'm sure you all have read that and watched the movie. So it builds from that. Gradually, then you move to more complex readings. Now I'm doing my literature. I'm in 7th semester right now. And to join the last conversation, sir was saying, when you are virtuous, you are moral, you say yes to teacher, then you are punished sometimes. It reminds me of the Mark Twain, Good Boy and Bad Boy story, if you have read that. It's not always like that. So as an adult, I find myself very confused that the moral confusion sir was talking about, the culture is opposite because we are Muslims, we are taught to be good, be nice. But at the same time, we see when we are good and we are nice, we get pushed away and we don't get our way. So,
and I would just add one thing to Hajra. Good person is always beaten in a bad society.
They are discarded, they are ostracized in society. All the great writers were ostracized in society. So it's nothing new, but I'm glad that here is the writing community and we can relate to each other and we have each other.
And I want Hajra just to remind all the students, actually, most of them are students, what are the readings you have done? Could you quickly remind them again? Please, I want all of you to listen to her, what kind of readings she does actually.
Actually, I started from Urdu novels. I failed to recall the name of the presenter who said that she started from, I think it was Mr. Suhail who was talking in the principal office when we were there, that she read Urdu books first and then gradually the English and everything. So I started from our Pakistani writers, Hajra Imran, and
English
in Urdu first, and then I got my interest in English because it was, it's a second language, so, and it's not taught like, you can say, how they taught foreigners, how English are taught about their native language.
Yeah.
So it was a bit difficult to comprehend their culture, their words, because I'm reading a portrait of an artist, a young man, there are some Latin phrases which I can't understand, but they understand Latin. I don't. So I have to refer back and buy anthologies and Google everything when I'm reading. So then the Pakistani writers, they brought Pakistani society, but the women.
Hajra, you read Harry Potter. What else? You read Mark Twain.
Yes, Mark Twain.
Mark Twain. She read Harry Potter. What else you read?
Some philosophical writing. Albert Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus.
The Myth of Sisyphus. Yes.
And the Stranger.
And you read Albert Camus. Yeah, Outsider and Myth of Sisyphus and The Stranger. So she has read the novels of absurdists also.
And
so she reads outside her course also. So just cramming one's texts and to appear in exam is not enough. I always encourage you to read outside syllabus. Thank you so much, Hajra. Could you read your
Also,
book?
there is one thing, it's not always about cramming, it's also about understanding. Students just read because the fall or the stranger is in our course. But students are just like, oh, just read the something and let's not understand what's written in the text. So
and they read something from Spark Notes most of the time.
Yes, Cliff Notes, Spark Notes, lit charts.
And mostly we as teachers also, we send notes in their groups.
Yes.
So they can study, so they don't have to confront the page actually.
Yes.
So they don't know the author, they just know the internet sources.
No,
Yes.
what is the important question that will come in the exam?
Yeah.
So I like to read the text and know what the author is saying, know what the Spark
Yes, Hajra, Ouroboros, quite quickly.
Yes, Ouroboros is actually...
Basics.
Yes. Ouroboros is actually, if I know you are all intelligent people here, it's a ring, a picture of a ring eating its own tail. So it defines, I didn't read it much because I just saw once scrolling it on Instagram and it came to me and I just read a small introduction about it and it appealed me so much. I said life is like that. It begins and it ends in your own. But I have philosophically a depth into it through a phrase. Okay, there is a famous saying that old age is like childhood and as human beings become obstinate like infants. But I disagree from it quite a bit because life is not a child's play, it's an old farce for me. Because an old man has all the experience of the life.
Yes.
A child is innocent, he is new to life. He hasn't seen anything. It's the blank state of tabula rasa as Descartes says.
Yeah.
We add things.
Thank you, Hajra. Because you read your book.
Yeah.
Please.
So there is a famous saying that old age is like childhood as human beings become obstinate like infants who want things their own way. But there lies the biggest facade. Maybe to save one from the bitter truth, life is not a child's play, but it's an old man's farce. Everywhere you see is an old man sticking to his rules and refusing to take into any contrary opinion. You see old, worn-out politicians breaking deals just to prolong their rule while their life is numbered. You see an old patriarch in every home refusing to let others take decisions or let others do as they will. The refusal to above statement will be given in the maturity one gets at old age. With time, facing tribulations, one becomes more experienced and apt at life. One knows how to persuade, that's one's way, and be a realist rather than an idealist. But then why a child's play? It is to mock the innocence, playfulness, and the insouciance of childhood. An old man has gone through life to have the consciousness to make decisions. Then why the foolery to equate old age with childish demeanor? It's the adamant persistence of old men to deny the breeze of the coming age, a last hold on power, thinking that they might be omnipotent and might linger on just a bit longer. The acknowledgement they want after life's long ordeal is more reflected in their tyrannical decisions. It's more likely they want to avenge the wrong done to them as what can be more everlasting than terror. It's all like the tale in the tale of Ouroboros, telling us about the circle of life from being a lively child to a stubborn old man. So I would like to add another thing that the ring, it can be taken as a symbolic circle of life, but just like every snake is not the same, it has its own skin. We all have our own feelings, our own ideas and thought perception, regardless of our gender. It is mostly said that boys have different life and girls have different life. Sure, but let's not define their lives. How should a boy live and how should a girl live? Let both of them have their opportunities and make their own decisions. Because it's always like, what will people say? And just as Armina, I think, said that the suffocating freedom, she has everything, but she is not living her life. So Why would others dictate your own life when you have your own soul, you have your own mind, you have your own passions, you have your wishes? You want to pursue one thing, you are different from others. That's what makes you yourself. And Ouroboros is a circle. You cannot be. You will eat your tail in the end. You will eventually need that. But why should the shape be a circle? It can be a square. It can be a triangle. You can move about wherever you like because you are an individual. If you take 1 rupee out of 100, then it will not be 100. It will be 99. So 1 rupee has some importance because it completes the things. So this is why, and also I would like to explain.
Thank you, Hajra. Any questions to Hajra? Come on, hello. Yes, Usama. Okay.
You told about I always believe that one should discover the reality of life themselves. The things that are told, let them just, why we're telling someone that it is like that, let them experience it and then come to a point. So is it like that? And secondly, sometimes in Islam as well, we have different opinions and there are different firqas as well, although I don't believe. So what I think is that people should be given a chance to discover themselves, to study themselves and come to a point which is what is right and what is wrong. And it should not be told what is right, what is wrong. And they should be given a situation and then experience it and learn more about it, study about it, and then come to a point themselves.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Brilliant question. And a comment? I think it's a comment.
Yes, it's a comment.
It's a comment. Any question? It's a comment. It's a very good comment.
Very good.
Any other questions to Hajra? Any other question? I think the point, if I were to make, is that what this gentleman is saying, he is saying that in every new situation we learn something new. So morality can't be fixed thing. Definitions of good and bad can't be fixed. It's relative. So that's one point. Good. And the second point is, I also describe this work actually. There is a myth-making quality in this work. How I describe it as a myth-making quality in this work. She has taken an image of Ouroboros. It's a snake which finally I think eats its own tail. It's a kind of a circular and cyclical image. And then she has responded actually to it. It's not a short story. These are thoughts actually. It is a response to that symbol of Ouroboros. And however, she actually differs from the original Ouroboros image also. She says that it cannot always be cyclical. Yes, that you begin as a child and then you, at the old age, you become child again. She says you can make it a square also. You can make it a triangle also. You can make it into different shapes also. So she is suggesting that the possibilities of changing your life, but I'm not as hopeful in my age as Hajra is, because we have this culture actually suffocating Freedom Amarina's work. She is suffocating woman. And I think every human being in our culture is suffocated in one way or the other. Yes, because morality says one thing, culture says the other thing. And there is this dilemma actually we are all having. So, there are no easy answers. It would have been nice if we had an easy answer. I'm sorry. We don't have a nice answer. It would be brilliant if we had nice answer to a question. Life, life has 6,000 sides. So it would be great if we have nice answers. Although parents and teachers try to give nice answers to the younger ones and to their children. But I'm sorry to say, there are no nice answers. There is no nice solution to any problem at all you have. So ultimately, you had to figure it out for yourself that your wishes and your desires which you are having. These days, people have a desire for a smartphone. And when I was reading, we did not have a desire for a smartphone because we were living in a different culture. So what we think our desires are natural, they're often cultivated in us by the cultural industry. And cultural industry is capitalism. It's a big, big lie. To me, TV is a big, big lie. To me, cinema is a big, big lie. To me, all this capitalism which has actually entered in our pockets. Where is capitalism? It is present within our home, within our hands. You see people moving with the phone actually. So we are overtaken by capitalism actually. Where actually your worth is determined by what you own and how much you can buy. People are building houses. People are arguing. Do you have a plot? Do you have a home? People are building houses, but they're destroying the world. Children are starving, and there are billionaires. It's a corrupt world we are living in. So the desires which are created within us, and I think Amrina is listening to me, although she might have left, why we are suffocated. There is no quick solution to it. There is nothing, but we need to understand that we are living in a world which is taken over by capitalism. And also remember, we are living in a post-nuclear world. Please remember, we are living what happened in Auschwitz, we are living what happened in Japan and Nagasaki, and we live in a world where the terror is taking place in Gaza also. So I am a citizen of Gaza also, I'm a citizen of Auschwitz also, I'm a citizen of Nagasaki and Hiroshima also. We are living in a post-nuclear world, and I wish I could give you a simple recipe to resolve your contradictions. But there can be cooking recipes, but there is no single mental recipe which we can offer you, and we really apologize as elders. Yeah.
Sir, I just want to add one thing in the image used by Hajra. I just remember the same kind of image has been used by the BBRs in the second comedy, spiral and conical.
Yes.
So I would just like you to, could you make a connection, what is the difference between the image she has used and in the way the BBRs has used in the second comedy?
Your question is brilliant. It's a brilliant question. Yes.
And I also wanted this to bring into her knowledge, because I think that she has a trend of BBRs.
Yes.
So we used to use that image much.
Yes, it's a great question. And about Yeats, the rhythm of his poetry enters my bones actually. I repeat, rhythm of Yeats' poetry enters my bones, but I will answer your question if you allow me after we are done with all the writers. Yes? Thank you so much, Hajra. It was great listening to you. Please give a huge round of applause.